All right, need a motion to come out of the executive session?
So moved.
No, second?
I'll second.
Sarah, all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Abstention? 7-0. Okay, thank you. All right, so now apologize for a long executive session. We're going to start our regular meeting, and the first thing we're going to do is stand for the pledge, please. Pledge allegiance
To the flag of the United States of America, and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
I'm going to get John back in here because he's going to be first on the agenda. All right, welcome to the Board of Ed meeting for July 20th. As a result of the COVID virus, our district offices are closed. We're holding this meeting in person, following safety guidelines for social distancing and wearing masks for safety and health of our board members and our administration. There will be no public participation this evening, and this meeting is closed to the public. This meeting will be streamed on our district YouTube page. And before we get started, I would like to thank our technology team for setting up this meeting so that we can be here in person. So we're going to jump right in, and we're going to go to John for correspondence.
None tonight.
No correspondence. Okay, we're going to go to John for commendations.
None tonight.
All right, we're cruising. All right, we have proposed consent agenda. We are going to pull from contracts number 2 for tonight. Is there anything else that anybody would like pulled from the consent agenda?
Number 1.
Number 1, under which category?
Under approval of contract.
Okay, so we're going to pull 1 and 2. Okay, thank you. Anything else? Okay, so can I get a motion to approve the consent agenda except for items 1 and 2 under contracts?
So moved.
Can I get a second?
Second.
Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Abstentions? Okay, approved 6-1. We are going to go to reports. What?
Number 1.
No, we did that.
No.
Oh, I'm sorry, you're right. Okay, can a motion to approve contracts number 1 for Mr. Conklin?
So moved.
Okay, second?
Second.
Sarah? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed?
Nay.
Nay. Abstentions? Okay, pass 5-2. And that's it. Number 2 was fine. All right, very good. Thank you. Sorry about that. All right, we are going to move to reports now. Superintendent's report.
Yes, thank you, Joe. I just want to let the board know, I think you know that I'm on a call with superintendents. We have been since we got out of COVID, but one of the things that's come up at the superintendent's level was that they wanted to form a task force with volunteers, people who want to be on the task force for United Together Against Racism task force. So I volunteered, and last Thursday we had our first meeting about that. I don't have much more information. I know they're looking for somebody to kind of direct the group. And I will tell you just real quickly, 2 things that they talked about at the front end, because they just don't want to have a committee. They want the committee to do something, certainly. And one of the big issues, and it's been for a long time, is about the recruitment of minority candidates. So I think BOCES had for years a recruitment day. And they talked about resurrecting that too, and working with colleges and different things, maybe some other colleges, because we work a lot of times just locally with New Paltz and Mount St. Mary's to expand that. So that's one thing they're going to look hard at and fast. And then the other thing I thought was a great idea, they would maybe have a representative, a high school representative for each school district to meet as a group and have a facilitator to talk about what the kids' issues are and how we can hear from them how we can do better. Same as what we're doing with our committee here. So I'll keep you abreast as we go forward, but that was just happened last week. Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
Is that all the superintendents you said? Is it?
Well, they opened it up to everybody. I don't think everybody's asked to be on. I think there's at least 8 of us, I think.
So is it like a superintendent thing though, or
Yes.
is it like
Yes.
a state thing, like that? That's
No,
what I
the
meant.
superintendent thing, because we had sent, I think it maybe saw the letter the superintendents sent out to the whole, we sent that to everybody. That went out to the whole, each school district sent it out to the community from the BOCES superintendent, that we all were part of that letter. And they felt very strongly, okay, we sent a letter out now, what are we going to do? And this is why they formed this committee.
Oh, okay, so it's under BOCES. I'm sorry, I just missed.
Yeah, it's just, I'm going to be a
Yeah.
superintendent on this committee, yes. Yep. Thank you.
All right, Assistant Superintendent's Report.
I just wanted to quickly give you a little bit of update about the reopening. The guidance document was put out on the 15th, which was last Wednesday.
Marianne.
So the guidance document from the state was handed out last Wednesday by the state. Prior to that, we had met with the task force about 2 or 3 times. We will be meeting again on Wednesday with the cabinet. The most important piece of this is really to determine what our instructional method will be. At this point, we believe that it will be a hybrid method of in-school learning and online instruction. We're going to finalize that decision. That decision is based upon data that we got from our parents. We had about 1,900 parents respond to the survey, and that data is showing that a majority would come back if it was on a AB schedule or something like that, where there was a limited number of students on the buses and in school. We had a much larger percentage who said that they would not come back if it was everybody. Most of the schools in the county appear to be going to some sort of an AB, except for the very small schools, like Florida. So we met with Ryan and Eleanor
Just mentioned that the directive just came out on,
Wednesday.
yeah,
That's what I said.
or actually Thursday.
Thursday.
It was supposed to come out at 12 o'clock on Wednesday. We got the directive last Thursday, actually on our call at 3 o'clock. So everybody's scrambling. We had our first meeting at the superintendent's level today to speak about it. Marianne met with the PIC today also. So the wheels are turning. It's just that no one has any final answers. I just want to mention, we're waiting for the state, and it was late in comments. So that's why we don't have a firm plan. I'm sorry. I just want to.
Right, and so that's kind of what I alluded to before. There's about 10 sections of the plan, one of which is the social emotional, but there's an instructional piece, there's a safety piece, there's a health piece, there's a facilities piece of the plan, and there's specific requirements for all of those different pieces. So we had already decided who was going to be kind of the team leader of those different groups. So we have that in place. We met with Ryan and Eleanor. They know what their charge is. They will have specific recommendations to give to us on Wednesday. And we have formed a committee of teachers, K-12, to meet for 4 days to put together the best practices for an online learning environment, and so that it's consistent. One of the pieces of feedback we did get from the public was that it was inconsistent. Some teachers did a lot of synchronous learning, some did not do any, some gave a lot of work, some didn't give it enough. So we are going to develop the best practices, and to do that, we're going to incorporate teachers. We hope to have everything finalized well before July 31st, which is when the plan is due to the state, so that we can bring that back to you as well.
Okay.
Do you have any questions?
I do.
Okay.
So we're going to do real grading, or are we going to?
We're going to do, so that's part of the plan. One of the points to discuss with the group, but the plan is to do real grading and also to show the attendance. And that is a requirement from the state. We have to find a way to make sure that we are able to show that there is engagement and that there is student-teacher contact. So the document is 144 pages. I think that some of you have it, but it's very extensive. There's mandates and then there's recommendations, but attendance is a mandate that we have to do.
But if you're gonna be doing like real grading, then you have to be making sure that special ed services are also being done.
Absolutely, special ed is a big piece of it. There is a possibility that we could bring special ed students in every day, because if you think about it, our 612s, our 812s, our 1211s, we could probably bring them back 5 days a week and still social distance. So those are some of the things that we have to write into our plan, what we're going to do with each aspect. It really is a Herculean task, and we have to have it done in 2 weeks. We do have to have an outline done in 2 weeks, and then over the month of August, we'll tighten it up.
Yeah. So I thought this was good because I even before this, I was thinking of like an emergency response plan. So, you know, not only COVID, but if we have a 4-day blizzard, there's no reason why we can't kick into gear
Right.
and still have school.
Absolutely.
Yeah, okay, good. All right.
Any other questions?
Questions?
No?
So I heard you correctly, you said you're gonna do an A/B day? Is
I
that decided, or are we looking at all at the 1 week on, 1 week off? Because I'm extremely leery of the A/B format for every Monday that's off, any snow day. Diana, how many times do you remember what A/B days were you when you were teaching? You walked in, you see on the door, like, oh, that's it. With healthcare, with childcare, saying, oh, it's going to be this and everything's going on. I really do not think of A/B days.
Or for classes that are only every other day,
Yeah,
they're gonna miss.
so I'm not saying this, please consider the week on, week off. It's so much easier for parents and childcare. You can say, I know what weeks I'm happening, even if there's a snowstorm or there's a day off. I know when my kids got to be taken care of. But it's just something to think about. I know it makes it more difficult for you guys, but I think you might solve lots of attendance problems after the snowstorm and everybody forgets what day it is. But it's something to think about. Thank you.
Absolutely.
Would it go by families?
It would be, we would have, what we have planned is to look at our database and to find where it breaks right in half, what letter of the alphabet it breaks in half, and then we would have those letters of the alphabet come on whatever schedule we do, and then opposites, and then if there was any family that had 2 different names, we would have to make accommodations for that, so that the high schoolers are home with the little ones, and that, everybody's going to school on one day.
Have fun with that.
I'm telling you, there's a lot.
All right, thank you.
More to come.
More to come.
And then just the only thing else is that the Racial Equity and Education Committee didn't meet last week because I was not here, but we are meeting again on Thursday. Our first professional development for administrators will take place on Monday, the 27th. So that is
Okay.
happening.
So let me ask a question too. Do you have like a log or something that you're keeping of like the different opportunities identified and like how we're responding, like
Do
for the race and equity?
we
So-
know?
Well, a log. Can you create a log?
Sure.
If anybody else is interested in a log?
In the different opportunities we have in the
Well-
district?
Well, like things that the race and equity committee bring up. So like, in other words,
There's an agenda and there's notes.
yes, but so what I would like to see is, opportunity is diversity training. The action plan is to train staff by XYZ, and then it was completed on this date.
Okay.
And the next, right? Does anybody else want to see that? We need 4. 4? Okay, we have 4. If you could just,
Like an action plan.
yeah,
What
something
the
that,
goal is and when it was.
something that like, you can, either every meeting or every other meeting, you could give us and we could say, okay, we're checking stuff off and we're moving down through. And, some of them will continue, but the things that we complete, it'd be good to recognize when things are completed.
When do you want that by?
Tomorrow.
Yes. No, even if, again,
The thing to do.
for the next meeting, I think
Next meeting?
is fine. I think that'd be great. And it would help see the progress, and it would also help see the different things that the committee's coming up with. So that would be terrific. All right, thank you. Anything else?
Nope.
All right, thank you. Mr. Conklin.
So a few things again, the external audit is progressing. It's fully remote this year, which is different than it has been in the past. Comptroller's audit, that's progressing as well. Comptroller's office has been working with Chris's office to get the IT information that they need. Our pool grouting project is complete. I'm happy to say it was done on budget. And out of, Ryan says roughly 6,000 square feet of our pool, only 33 1-inch by 1-inch tiles needed to be replaced. So it was a good project to get done this year, and that should last us quite a while. And then coming up, we got some parking lot repairs that are going to be happening over the summer around the district. And we're going to be busy working on that reopening plan to get kids back in September, hopefully. That's all.
Is that our people doing the repairs, like Ryan and them are doing the parking lot
For
repairs?
the parking lot repairs, no, remember we did the bid last year for parking lot repairs. So there's some pretty substantial potholes that we need to get fixed, issues over in Montgomery. We're going to do some seal coating here at Berea to try to extend the life of that parking lot. You see the grass that's growing down the middle. So we're going to try to get parking lots on a schedule to maintain going forward so we don't run into issues where we need full replacements.
Did they give you any idea when the comptroller might be done with the audit?
No, I don't know. I believe Chris has given them all the information that they need. So hopefully sooner than later. It's been almost a year since they contacted us. So,
Yeah, that's why I asked.
yeah.
All right, thank you. Projected enrollment.
Yeah, you saw the new counts, I hope, and just, we'll keep you abreast of that, but I think we're down from who we graduated and what we have so far, I think about 60 kids. I don't have it right in front of me, right?
We are down
No? Total
to about 75 kids.
of 75, okay. But again, everyone's not registered for kindergarten at this time, so.
Some of those grade 4 classes
Well,
have pretty high numbers.
Yeah.
I was gonna mention that, I think that if you look at East Coldingham, and I just noticed that grade 3 is very low, and if he had 2 sections of grade 3, he would still only have 22 kids in that class. And if you put the other teacher in grade 4, so I don't know if I think that the principals are still looking at these numbers, and they can still move their staff around to make these numbers more reasonable.
This is based on last year's sections, right? So we could adjust that for sure. How many kindergarten kids are registered? I can't see them.
Right now, we only have 237 kindergarteners
Okay.
registered.
So there should be more than that, certainly. We'll keep you in
Okay,
the loop. Thank you.
all right, good, thank you. Any questions on enrollment? All right, next on the agenda, old business, readoption of district code of conduct and plain language summary. We looked at this last meeting and some changes were made. So if you look on document page 8, you can see the updates there. A student may be suspended from school or subjected to other disciplinary actions, including but not limited to when such student. And if you go down under engages in conduct, number 4, you'll see using obscene, profane, derogatory, discriminatory, and harassing language, including when such language is on the basis of race, color, creed, gender, sex, sexual orientation, disability, age, religion, religious practice, weight, ethnic group, national origin, or socioeconomic status. A little bit farther down, my mouse. Using, wearing, depicting, possessing, or displaying the Confederate flag or its likeliness, except when they are used as part of curriculum and approved by a teacher or administrator. And that's that. And then under the plain language,
No, page 15.
what happened on 15?
Hold on.
We changed it? Oh,
Dress
my-
code.
oh, the whole thing? All right, on page 15, the dress code. Students are expected to attend school in appropriate type of apparel. Halter tops, tube tops, bare midriffs, revealing sheer clothing, tight shorts, short shorts, low-riding pants, tight high slit skirts, and pajamas are prohibited. Further, other clothing clothing items worn in a revealing or distracting manner may not be permitted. Chains of any kind, spiked, collared, riveted, wristbands, oversized rings, etc. are prohibited and may be confiscated. Students are also prohibited from wearing clothing containing drugs, alcohol, sex-related topics, double-meaning profanity, vulgarity, inflammatory obscene language, pictures, symbols. Students may not wear hoods or bandanas into school other than for religious or safety purposes. Students may wear headscarves or head wraps. Various colored bandanas worn on belts, pants, pockets, or as headbands, etc., are expressly forbidden given their association with gang activity. Students are prohibited from using, wearing, depicting, possessing, or displaying the Confederate flag or its likeliness except when they are used as part of the curriculum and approved by a teacher or administrator. Students will be issued a warning, and continued violations of said rules may be met with disciplinary action. Students are prohibited from wearing violence-inspired clothing on school grounds, specifically any dress or appearance which encourages and/or advocates violence and/or illegal and/or violent activities and/or violent crimes. No outer garments should be worn around school for health and safety reasons. Due to safety concerns, all students are prohibited from wearing the following items, but not limited to: face paint, mask, wigs, helmets, full-body costumes, and/or other materials or accessories that may prevent school personnel from properly identifying a student. The standards of dress will prevail at all times, including examination periods and all other activities planned for inside the building. Be advised that the administration reserves the right to challenge any student's dress or appearance which, in the judgment of the school administrator, may cause a material or substantial disruption to the educational process and/or a health and safety hazard. In such cases, students will be given an appropriate shirt issued by administrator or may be sent home to change their clothing. A student who refuses to comply with the principal's request or designee's directive may be subject to disciplinary action. Okay. Whew.
Good job.
Plain language. I don't think, let me see plain language. Oh, all the way at the bottom, plain language. All right. Students are expected to attend school in appropriate type of apparel. Standards for student dress are set forth in the Code of Conduct. The standards of dress will prevail at all times, including examination periods and other activities planned for inside the building. Be advised that administration reserves the right to challenge any student dress or appearance which, in the judgment of a school administrator, may cause a material or substantial disruption to the educational process and/or create a health and safety hazard. Okay. Very good. You gotta vote on that, right? All right. So can I get a motion to approve the readoption of the district code of conduct and plain language summary?
So moved.
Katie?
I'll second.
Seconded by Sarah. Any discussion?
I just have one question,
Okay.
and it's not enough for me not to approve it. I just have a question. Was that we had that discussion about the whole tight short thing. So is there a resolution to that?
We did talk to the principal of the high school and to the athletic director. There was some discussion about the volleyball team. Their recollection is students don't wear it, but they are going to speak. Bill Miller said he would speak to his coaches and remind them that even on Fridays when it's Spirit Day, that they are to wear appropriate clothing. They can wear their jerseys. Cheerleaders may be reminded they can wear their skirts, but they should wear some sort of jeggings or leggings or, spandex under there so that it's more appropriate. But that the administration was pretty clear that they wanted to keep that in there, short shorts, and that they would address that athletic uniforms are for the athletic environment and not for the educational environment.
Thank you. All right. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Abstentions? Okay, passed 7-0. All right. Now under new business, we have the first reading of the organizational chart. It's attached. I'm not going to try to read through the chart. Does anybody have any questions on the chart?
Actually, I have one. Won't this be changing soon? Based on our discussion in executive session? Are we wasting our time on putting this on now? I mean, I'm fine with them, just saying, are we gonna come back in 2 weeks or 5 weeks with the different little thoughts?
I think isn't this the R organizational chart?
I'm looking at
Is it?
3230E.
Sorry.
I'm not sure you might be
Oh,
right.
You're right.
So,
Can we pull that, can we get that?
well, or we just do another first reading, right?
Okay.
If it's revised, we would do another first reading.
Okay.
So, okay, good point, though. Good, okay. All right, next is the first reading of the student dress code, which I'm very familiar with. Okay, students are prohibited from using, wearing, depicting, possessing, or displaying the Confederate flag or its likeliness except when they are used as part of curriculum and approved by a teacher or administrator. The dress code shall be set forth in the code of conduct. So that is the first reading of that. Any questions on that? Okay. Next on the agenda is the approval of the agreement between Valley Central School District and the YMCA of Middletown. Can I get a motion to approve the agreement?
I'll make a motion.
Sarah? Second?
I'll second.
Mel, discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Abstentions? Approved 7-0. Next is the approval of the reduction of tax assessment and payment of refunds due to court order and judgment. Can I get a motion to approve that?
I'll make a motion.
Second?
Okay.
Is that Diana?
Yes.
Thank you. Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Abstentions? Passes 7-0. All right. Next is the approval of curriculum writing. Is it okay if we do these two together?
Will you do it separately, please?
Sure.
Thank you.
Okay. Can I get a motion for the approval of the online instructional framework?
I'll make a motion.
Sarah, second.
I'll second.
Katie, thank you. Discussion?
Is there a cap on the amount of hours that we're going to pay for?
Yes, there is a cap. I think the cap is 20 hours.
So,
And I don't think that we'll even go that, I don't think we'll need it for all the different people. I don't think every person that's working is going to do 20 hours.
where's that money coming from?
My budget, my curriculum writing budget.
Any other questions, discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed?
Nay.
Abstentions? Okay, passes 6-1. Next is freshman skills seminar. Can I get a motion to approve the freshman skills seminar?
So moved.
Sonia, second.
I'll second.
Sarah, discussion?
Just have a quick question. Is every freshman gonna take the skill seminar?
That is the objective. I've been working with Mrs. Baxter to see if how she's going to be able to schedule that this year. So the scheduling of it is a little uncertain right now, but the goal is that every freshman will take it. So will they all take it this September? I can't say.
Eventually, the goal is everyone will take it.
Right.
Thank you.
And why are we rewriting SUNY Orange curriculum?
Mrs. Starr, who is the language.
Language.
It's going to be many hours, but there were some modifications to the curriculum that she felt would be more acceptable and that would be better for the students. So Mrs. Kinderbaxter asked for it. I don't think there's many hours that she's getting for that. To revise that. That's good. We were going to do a summer program. We haven't done many of those. So they do provide us with the curriculum, but it's a framework and we can make modifications to it. So when Starr offered to give this program in the summertime as another opportunity for kids, she thought that it needed to be modified.
Are these kids gonna get, credit for that,
They'll get credit for this.
even though we're adjusting their curriculum?
Yes, and it has to be accepted by the university.
What's involved with the freshman skills seminar?
I have a memo on that, but basically, one of the things that we wanted to address in it were some of the issues about racism, but also just life skills, such as writing resumes and social interactions and social media and how to interact on social media. I can give you more information on exactly all the topics. I did just ask them to provide that to me. They haven't written the curriculum yet, but it's basically, they felt like you have to get the freshmen while they're young and while our freshman class typically is a class that struggles, and so to provide them with some basic social and emotional skills that they may utilize in the future, so.
I would be interested in seeing too the topics
The
as well.
topics, absolutely.
All right, any other questions or discussion? All right, all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Abstentions? Okay, that's a 7-0. All right, we do have one walk-on item. Need a motion to approve the transportation agreement for student number 2020-4.
First, you need approval to put it on.
Oh, okay. Can I get approval to put the transportation agreement on the agenda?
So moved.
No?
I'll second.
Second, Sarah, all in favor?
Aye.
All right, it's on 7-0. Thanks, Sonia. Okay, now can I get a motion to approve transportation agreement, student number 2020-4?
So moved.
Okay, second,
Second.
Diane, all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Abstentions? Passed 7-0.
Thank you.
All right, thank you. Okay, that is everything that we had to cover tonight. Anything before we close? All right, can I get a motion to adjourn?
So moved.
Sonia, second?
I'll second.
Sarah, all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Abstentions? 7-0 passes. Thank you very much.